Cinema. I'm Aaron, and literally known as Mr. Vincent, and I've got the Vinegar Cinema unboxing today. So by now you've probably seen a lot of unboxings. See, back in the day, I was one of the only people unboxing Vinegar Syndrome stuff, but now it seems to be a lot of unboxing Vinegar Syndrome, which I like because I love watching unboxings. And I got my Vinegar Syndrome stuff here. Hey there, William. First person to say hello. Thank you so much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my so that I'll see messages. Hey there, Alan and Mug. Hey there, AME. I got to watch your video tonight. Actually, I had it tuned up to watch last night, but I was exhausted by the time I went to bed. The box sets. I tweeted it though. Hey there, Mary. MC. So first off, remember last week I think when I got my gift from Ryan. Hey there, Scott. So I unboxed all the stuff first, and I unboxed these. So these here are like were mini slip covers. Now at the time that I unboxed these, hey there, Chris, there was nothing in them. They forgot to put the things on the inside. So yesterday, they actually that actually came. So now I have the pins too. So I'll show these before I go into the unboxing. So when you open it up like this, it's kind of like a bigger size Matchbox thing, but it has these here. So this one here is for the uninvited. Cats have 9 lives. You only have 1. I hope that some of you guys were able to get these mini slips because they did come back. Hey there, Man vs. Phone. During the when the site started up today. They had a few left on each of them, and I think they sold out, or 2 of them at least were completely sold out. Not sure about the 3rd, but I know that 2 of the 3 pins actually ended up selling out, and they're actually really cool. They're really sexy looking. So let's go to the second one here. This is the Incubus, the Ultimate Power of Evil. What's nice about these is they are not like they got heft to them. They got a bit of weight, and I kind of expected them to be like really kind of like plasticky and stuff, and I shouldn't have, but I guess I kind of did. But there's a weight to these pins that I actually really like. You got Berserker, right? Oh, nice. These are the missing pins, Alan. And of course, this is the Orgy of the Dead pin, which may be my favorite one. I love the colors in that. Team Nods slip. That one lasted for a long time before it sold out, though. So, you know, we'll give them credit there, but hopefully, maybe they'll find something along the way. So, I've already gone ahead and no, not the monthly package, unfortunately. This is like the halfway to Black Friday sale that I got. So, what I got here, I've already went ahead and taken everything, like all the plastic off, so we can, hey there, Frankie, so we can actually just kind of get rid of that part of it. And if there's like things to look at, reversible covers, we can get right into it. So I literally did this in my last 2 minutes of work to make sure that we could actually do it pretty quickly. So first off is one of the ones that I got because of you guys, because of the cult, and that is a Nico Masterakis film, and that's In the Cold of the Night. Now, I'm a huge, that's the thing. It is like Christmas morning for me. Sometimes I forget how excited Vinegar Syndrome like packages make me feel. And then when they come and I start opening it up, there's really nothing like it for me. I'm such a fanboy. Did you watch Severed Arm? I gotta see, I don't have Severed Arm. I gotta get that one. I hear it's good. So this is a cool cast. We got like Adriana Sachs is in this one, Shannon Tweed. There's a small part for Tippi Hedren, Mark Singer, Brian Thompson, David Soul. So, extremely cool cast. You want to see the other alternate artwork for this one? Because it's kind of cool. In the Cold of the Night. It almost looks like a Harlequin cover. But it makes sense. And from what, I don't remember this one that well. I know I've seen it at one point. But if you've got this one and you don't have the Scorpion releasing film Blind Date with Joseph Bottoms and Kirstie Alley, pick it up because perfect double feature for this film. If you do have that film and you haven't picked this up, again, perfect double feature, yeah, is Blind Date and In the Cold of the Night. They're both like kind of like thriller mysteries that have a bit of science aspect to them, or sci-fi aspect, or fancy, whatever you want to call it. And they're both directed by Nika Matsourakis, who's directed a lot of really good films like Zero Buzz, which is an excellent film that everybody should have from Arrow. And that's the first one. Next up is one of the sexy ones. So I already switched out the cover. Okay, some people, I'm sure everybody knows by now, but I'm watching film unboxing and some people are kind of unsure about why this is. So right here in the corner, it says, right there it says, in a brand new, and there's nothing after that. So what that's supposed to be is a brand new 2K transfer, brand new 2K restoration of the film. Now, that for some reason got cut off. So rather than like send out something down the road or just kind of forget about it, they sent the corrected slipcover with it. So I've got the corrected slipcover already put on here. If you bought this in the US, then the slipcover came outside of it, and this was kind of just packaged around the case. If you bought this in Canada, and you correct me if I'm wrong, the corrected slip, hey there Cinematech, was the slip was already on it, and the corrected insert was already inside the case, and you just had to like take it out and put it and change it and put it on. So here's the reversible artwork, which is the artwork that I'm used to, except I think it's kind of mirrored from what I'm used to actually. I actually really love this film. It's been a long time since I've seen this one, and Man vs. Film is right. This is a gorgeous looking slipcover. I don't know. I don't think it'll become rare. Not yet anyway. Kobe, due to the fact that everybody got it. Now, a year or so down the road, when people start tossing this thing out, maybe, yeah. So this is the alternate artwork, by the way, which is interesting, but I like the original artwork on this time. Hey there, the most. So hold on to it, because a lot of people won't, and then it might become rare. Okay, next up is the other film that I got thanks to the cult. So Mary, you guys, is Party Line. This is a one that I've wanted for a long time. I used to have the VHS of this one. It's not my favorite slip of Vinegar Syndrome, but it is an awesome film. If you've never seen it, it's a weird little film, and that kind of works for it. So this is the, for some reason they already had it changed around to the original artwork, probably because look at the original artwork. And again, we got a great cast here. Richard Hatch is in this one, Richard Roundtree, Sean Weatherly, Leif Garrett, Greta Blackburn. Cops with Rad already sang for $300. Did you watch it? Did everybody kind of do the Rad watch today? I did. Like, we went online after Vinegar Syndrome opened up, and you just watched Rad's like selling out. It was fascinating. Hey there, Brian. I got it finally. I got my Vinegar Syndrome stuff. So next up is one that I didn't want to wait on, even though there was lots of copies of this film. But I really like this film, and I actually like this director, so sue me. Party Line, it's years since I've seen it, Mark, but I really liked Party Line back when I saw it. It's a weird little twisted kind of thriller with this brother-sister combo that are killing people. It's really cool, actually. Unfortunately, can't do a standard run. They only had the rights to those 12,000 copies, and I think anything else is going to be like a digital run, and that's going to be done by another company, Pandora or something like that thing's called. Don't quote me on the name of the company because I'm not quite sure, because I don't deal in digital. Over the top. See, Rad is one of those that I'll be honest, you guys. I never thought Rad was going to get the response that it got. Like I knew it had a fan base. I had no idea it had the fan base that it has. Holy crap. You know, again, Hal Needham directed it. Lori Loughlin is in it. it has a great soundtrack. But I had no idea. So Olivia with Suzanne Love and Uli Lommel. And if you got this from the 88 Films UK edition, then it's called Prozzy, and this is the cover you got. There's a rad fan group there. And this is the alternate artwork for Olivia. Anybody thinking they should get Olivia now? Anybody having any thoughts about going up and picking out Olivia when they see the alternate artwork? No, it's not an adult title, actually. It's Uli Lommel, the same guy did the original Boogeyman, and he's done a lot of different films. God, I'm trying to think of those. They're they use a lot with like real killers, and not like real killers, but like want to watch the whole film. If this is one that I remember, there's a place in the U.S. that has kind of like a bridge, like kind of like London Bridge, and that's where it's sort of shot. Part of it is shot at. Suzanne Love plays this girl whose mother, I think she was a prostitute or something, and her Arizona, thanks, Daytona, and so she's killing men. Anyway, it's a long time since I've seen it, so I don't have a lot to tell you right now. But it's got a great, like, it's becoming Olivia, talking with Susanna Love, taking on many roles, with interview with writer assistant director John P. Marsh, a chance meeting, John Cranhouse cinematographer interview, learning from Uli, an interview with editor Tero Tainen, and super 8mm behind the scenes footage. So that's kind of neat there as well. Sorry, just thrown. I forgot about Executioner and Frozen Scream. I don't have either one of those, by the way. Executioner Part 2, when there is no Executioner Part 1. Just so you know, if you go looking for Executioner Part 1, there isn't one. Next up comes some of the sexy stuff again. And we start out with number 5 of the Vinegar Syndrome Archives editions, and this is Hell Riders. And hey there, Hell. I'll be back. And my number is 494. Now, Sam and Asia, that's wasn't in the group again. I can't remember the name of the group, but they're like a new wave band. I never knew that I knew the song really well. Had no idea that song came from from Rad, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, Adam West and Tina Louise, man. And these here are, just so you know, most of these, except for I think Blood Games is Region A, and I think Rad's Blu-ray is Region A. But most of these here, if I'm correct, are region-free releases, just so you know. Real life, thank you, Mike. I knew the real part of it, but I couldn't remember the last part. Probably a glitch in the system, Ragman. Or somebody tried to buy like 500 copies. You ever think there would be a remake of They Live? I'm pretty certain there will be a remake of They Live. And They Live is an excellent film. But I do think they could remake it if they wanted to. I'm not saying they should remake it. I'm just saying that they could remake it. So, 434, and this is Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom. Oh, it'd be remade Day Katana. They just use somebody else in the role. Because, if they're going to remake it, they wouldn't be using Roddy Piper anyway. They're using a new actor. And so if they franchise it, they can take it on from there. And I'm sure Roddy Piper would be fine with it. Because they made a bunch of the, they made a bunch of like Welcome to Frogtown sequels and stuff like that too. Hey, by the way, I texted you on, I messaged you on Twitter. You watch Savage Harbor? I told you. but it's terrible in a fun way. Although it screams sequel, what we're going to get is probably a remake, and then they'll franchise it out from there. I don't get remaking the Big Trouble in Little China because it's a hard one to promote to market. I guess just on the basis of the original, maybe. I can get They Live one because it's topical right now, and I'm sure that they take that stance on it. Some like that would have to be. Okay, so if you're looking at this movie and you're thinking, yes, this looks like a martial arts style type of film, good guess, because yes, there is martial arts in this movie. If you're looking at it thinking this is a terrifying thriller, you're go back to the martial arts part of it. It's closer to that. It's a weird little film. I have not seen Night of Victorians. See, they wouldn't get Dolph because Dolph's too old. They'll pick somebody younger. They'll pick somebody younger. Probably either pick an unknown or a no name, or I don't know. Pick like somebody that can do a lot of action stuff and that can act as well. Oh no, Scott Adkins. There we go. Why not? There's reasons for that. You haven't heard the most positive things about Dungeon of Death, because I have. I know this film a bit. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do know the film. I collect all the VSAs. I will eventually, and Mr. Keen actually already did a ranking of the VSAs, which I plan to do, still plan to do actually, when I get through watching these again. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the lowest in the VSAs. That being said, it's a fun, crazy release, but you gotta like that crazy stuff. I like that crazy stuff. So when I say I'm going to have fun with it, that doesn't mean it's going to be a good film. It's going to mean I'm going to have fun with the film. And that's just crazy enough that I will have fun with it. Speaking of movies I'm going to have fun with, LA Wars. I cannot wait to watch this one. Want to see the original cover? This must have been put up by Pacific. So, just look. If this gives you like a samurai cop type of feel, I got a feeling that's kind of what we're going to get here. A lot of action, a lot of low budget stuff, a lot of super craziness. How can you not want that? And this is 566 here. So two in the 400s, the one in the 500s. Actually, that's pretty good. Not so much their lower. See, VSA's Logan are kind of like, they're straight to DVD, straight to VHS type of films. So they're made around lower budget. They're done with like usually regional. So a lot of regional work. But this is my type, Logan. I'll be honest with you. You didn't like Don't Torture Duckling? That is one of the classics, Brian. Rewatch it. I'm telling you, dude, rewatch it. But if you don't like movies like Samurai Cop, or you don't like the cheesy stuff like that, you're probably not going to like LA Wars. However, I love that type of stuff. However, don't go by like IMDb ratings or anything like Rotten Tomatoes, because you won't have any fun with movies if you do that. All right. PM Entertainment. It's definitely PM Entertainment. 100%. I would guess without even looking, Logan. That's PM Entertainment. So, yes, of course I have it. And this is rad. No. Do I think Vinegar Syndrome implies? No, I really don't. If there's any company that's out there that I think legitimately, like, does everything straight above the board. Uh, their company that looks like, because they could have just put this out here and said, okay, anybody can buy however many copies, or they could have limited it to three. So with people like getting as many as they want and selling them out, or kind of undersaturated, or say it's just for the weekend type thing. They didn't do any of that. They said that we got a limited amount of copies, which was 12,000. 11,000, over 11,000 sold in during the pre-order sale time, and the rest of them sold out today in around an hour. So no, I really don't think that they would do that. So, and here's the. I am happy I picked it up because I would have kicked myself for not getting it. I don't think so. Get a mass market bare bones release. You got to understand what it took to get this release to come out. One, this was a Hal Needham release. Two, they were very strict with the way the release was done. So this is probably going to be the only physical release in North America that you're going to get. There is a digital release of this coming out, but I don't promote the digital. So I'm not going to, I rarely talk about that. But if you want to own RAD, you want to physically own a copy of RAD, this is it. This is going to be it. And I think this is probably going to be it for like a while. I don't think we're going to get like a DVD down the road. Hey there, Louis. Louis. I don't think we're going to get like a Blu-ray. I think that Vinegar Syndrome probably worked super hard to get this one in my iTunes collection. Yeah, hold up my computer. That's a pretty small collection actually. But and I think that initially they probably thought we're going to put this out as a digital release, and that was it. And Vinegar Syndrome somehow managed to convince them to do a physical release of it. That they didn't even think physical release at any point. Now, obviously, I don't know for sure, but that's what I would guess, is that they had planned to do probably a digital release of this, and down the road, and there is a digital release coming, I know that much, but Vinegar Syndrome convinced them to do this. My Powerhouse Indicator, I'll definitely do that. I don't have a lot of them, but I got the most of the Hammer ones. Missing one box set. So I will take this one out, although I will do like a more in-depth review of this. The thing that surprised me that Here Comes a Frogtown. Oh, Here Comes Frogtown's a lot of fun, yeah. It was my copy of Rad scratched up. Okay. I heard a lot about people talking about scratches on Rad, especially on like this. This here, by the way, this is lenticular side. This is a foil side. That's what it is. This is stuff here's foil. So if any of you there collected comic books in the past, then you know all about foil covers. And you know there's going to be scratches with foil covers. Before if you ever had a foil cover comic book, even before that hits the newsstand or your local comic shop, you're going to get some scratches in foil. It's pretty much a given. I'm sure there are. I mean, if I look closely, I'm sure there are. But here's the thing. This, I think, looks fantastic as it is. I am so not going to be putting this in my in the thing to watch. I'm watching the disc, so so it doesn't bother me that much. Okay, so there's a poster, mini poster here, and it's kind of neat. So it's got the Rad. You saw that, Jared? You know what you saw? You saw a bootleg. There is no DVD edition of Rad, so that would be a bootleg, and it will probably sourced from VHS. So don't go for it. See, Rad was one of those movies that before it came out, the reason it was such a big deal, guys, is because there's a huge fan base for the film. This is one of the most bootleg films that's been out there. Bootlegs of this has been selling for years. Much like, did you know that Convoy, remember the movie Convoy? You can buy it at any $5, at any Walmart for $5 now, right? In the VHS days of Convoy, Convoy sold it extremely quickly. And as a guy that used to sell movies for a living, Convoy, getting a bootleg edition of Convoy was $100. Like it was $100 in your pocket immediately. And if you had 10 copies of Convoy at the time, that's $1,000 right there. I'm guessing Rad probably was like that. In that, like, you just couldn't get it, so people would bootleg it. Exactly, Convoy, the Sam Peckinpah film. Not even his best film, but it was just at the time, Brian, it was really extremely hard to get. This is the Hell Track. I love this. I have not seen this movie in ages, so cereal bowl and toast. Not quite sure why, but okay. Why'd you say ugh to Convoy, man? Do you know that's fed my family? Before you say ugh to that, remember that. Fed my Convoy, fed my kids for like a month. Not even joking. I'm serious. It was that was the bootleg there was to get at the time, because there wasn't like, oh, you could get it. You couldn't get it. It was at a print, and you just couldn't buy it. So, yeah, and a hard time for me. It was actually very important. I'm just joking. No, I'm not joking with that part. But yeah, I get why he didn't like the film. Though was not his greatest. But I had fun with it. I had fun with Convoy because it's a fun film. I never personally bought a lot of bootlegs myself. Well, obviously, unless back in the VHS days, I did, because you couldn't get stuff. Nowadays, you can get everything. Look, in all seriousness, anybody think any of these movies were going to get releases like this? Like any of them? Like maybe you thought Rad might down the road, but did anybody here think that LA Wars was going to be getting a premiere, like, hard box release on a sub label of a premier boutique label, or hell, Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death? I could not have guessed this one in a million years. Like, never could have guessed this one in a million years. Now, I'm pretty sure Logan's right. It is like a PM Entertainment film. What titles did I get? Well, as I always do this, I grabbed In the Cold of the Night, Nico Mastrakis, and I try to get everything Nico Mastrakis. I really like his stuff. I need to get The Wind from Arrow. I'm not sure if Nico Mastrakis directed that film or if he just produced it, but either way, I got to pick it up. I got The Sexy Blood Games, that cover. This is an excellent film. It is not a slasher film. Please don't go in expecting Blood Games to be a slasher film. A lot of people apparently do. They see the cover and they think it's like a Friday the 13th-ish film. That's not Blood Games. That's not what it is. But it's an excellent film. I got the more like a slasher film, more of like the sexy thriller. I guess one of those like late night thrillers, in which it would have been Party Line. And again, loving the inside case. This is the Party Line that I know. This was on the VHS case back in the day. Actually, no, I owned the VHS case back in the day. I picked up Olivia for you UK people, Prozzy. Look for Mary Now, guys. If you collect 88 Films releases, you'll just look for Mary Now. However, this apparently, 88 Films doesn't have this is a more complete edition of the film than the 88 Films release. So if you got Prozzy and you really liked it, this here is a more uncut release than the one that 88 Films put out. So good to know. And I will. Oh, dude, I'm so excited, Brian. By the way, guys, this is Brian, and Brian does the Just the Disc and Pure Cinema podcast. And hopefully, you guys have listened to me and Brian this week. Actually, it just came out a day ago, episode of Just the Disc, because we just did one to Watch Pile, and it was a ton of fun. See, I love Olivia. To each his own, right? Everybody's got something that they like. But I've got a soft spot too for Susanna Love. Excellent. Like I gotta say, I felt good about that podcast when we did it. Now, listening back to the podcast, one of the things that I kicked myself for is I went to say at the time, I said, okay, now this is one of like Martin Scorsese's first screenwriting credits, and I said this is his first writing credit, and I was like, oh, that's the first thing I noticed. I always criticize myself. So if you listen to that, just edit it in your mind yourself, because I will make at least one mistake, at least one every time, just to keep you on your feet. Though that's the real reason. But no, I had a blast, Brian. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. Check out Pure Cinema too as well. Those are excellent podcasts put up by Brian. And trust me, in days like now, when basically things seems all stressful and stuff like that, it's a great way to just chill. It's just to listen to a good podcast. And if you collect stuff, if you watch this channel, if you're watching videos on here, then the counterpoint to this, the podcast version of this, is just to this podcast. We both love collecting, like everybody here. And yes, please hit the like button. Hell Riders, Adam West and Tina Louise, and Adam West's stunt double. You gotta love this for Adam West's stunt double as much as Adam West, because Lord knows he's got a large part of the film, and it's kind of hilarious. Now, every one of these, oh, you don't know Adam, Brian. So look, see this one right here? Yeah, this is Adam West. Adam West stars in this one. Adam and Tina Louise. So you're getting Adam West. You're getting Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island, the movie star. You're getting Renee Harmon. I'm not joking. Renee Harmon's in this one as well. So you're getting the girl from, Lady Street Fighter and Return Lady Street Fighter. How can you not, pick this up, man? And just look at this cover. Got to see Rob Crew some years ago, but yes, I did actually. I think Criterion put it, didn't they? And like all of the VSA releases, which I do have a complete VSA collection as of right now. Won't take them out for everyone because I'm going to do really reviews on every one of these. Has a poster, and as always, please remember that the VSAs go to print, and much like Rad, when a VSA is gone, it is gone. It does not come back in a standard release. It is not one where the slip is going to come back sans the slipcover. It is what it is. They're all hand numbered. The reason that they're done like this with these type of cases, Rad is gone, man. Did you pick it up, Brian? You did, didn't you? So it's meant to look like it's meant to be like a VHS. Like a VHS would you take the VHS out of the bottom of the case. That's what this is meant to resemble. Is to be like a VHS case. Do I plan on picking up the upcoming Cauldron films? I do. I mean, I got to get the Cauldron films releases. I love Martino, you know that. And Giallo, of course. The thing is, I haven't been, that's one of the places that I haven't kept up with. Like, people keep asking me about Cauldron films, and I gotta look into them. I haven't picked up anything from them yet, but I definitely want to down the road. But this took a lot out of me. It was like, no, I think you want Rad. And probably, hands down, probably the worst film that I got. But don't think I'm saying this in a bad way, because if you're new here, you have to understand this. I have a penchant for bad cinema, and I love it. Is Hellride like Mad Max? No, Kubrick. Hellride is kind of like, it's a biker film. It's like a 70s biker film, but it's made in the 80s. I'm not even joking. That's exactly what it is. It's like a biker gang. They kind of attack Tina Louise. She's like this ex-prostitute, and she goes into this town, and she meets up with. It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I apologize if I don't get everything correct. And she goes into town. She sees this doctor played by Adam West, and kind of the town. It's kind of town against biker gang. So it's pretty much kind of like that. So it's a biker movie, which really, in the whole crux of a biker film, is initially it's a western, really is what they are. If most of the biker films are, they're the independents, they're the last vestige of of on your own independence, rebelling against the system type of thing. It's a biker film, but the bikers they're kind of the bad guys. I guess in a way you could say that. Maybe our Judd Reese. Thank you. Brian's actually here right now. The other, and the creator of Just to Discs and Pure Cinema. And by the way, guys, make sure you check them both out because they are both excellent. $900. Well, dude, if you can do it, if you can get Rad sell it for $900, I'll have power to him, I guess. I'm not a scalper. I'm not a lover of scalpers because it's kind of. But hey, why not, right? But this. Didn't Hammer have a biker gang radioactive for children? Actually, I got that over there. It's on the 4th volume of Vindicator's Hammer, of the Hammer box sets, actually. And it's got McDonald Carey, I think. I don't know. So anyway, Dungeon of Death. Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death. What is this? It's weird. It is, you got a guy that kind of plays a Dr. Jekyll type character. And obviously, he turns into Mr. Hyde and he goes across London and America and he attacks. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't do any of that stuff. None of that is on there. What he does, though, is he takes people and injects them with stuff, and then they fight each other in fights and like kung fu, and they punch and kick each other. That's what this film is. That's exactly what this film is. And you know what? I'm probably going to love it. It's probably going to be something that I'm going to watch over and over again. It's been ages since I've seen this film. Wasn't Jack Nicholson and Peter Fonda in a biker movie produced by Corman? Probably. Corman produced everything, so, and he worked with both of them, so yeah, probably. And of course, Premier Entertainment's LA Wars, which I gotta say, this is probably the one I think will probably be the best quality out of the films. I know Logan's not a big fan of it, but well, there can Cinematech because there's Neil Breen, and one of these days we'll talk about Neil Breen. Oh, we will talk about Neil Breen. But I got to get some physical copies of some Neil Breen films first, because they're harder for me to come by. Oh, LA Wars. This is kind of a super low budget action film. Think of it like kind of Samurai Cop, like a low budget type regional action film. Pretty sure it's PM Entertainment that put this one out initially. So if you remember those PM Entertainment movies like Lawrence Hilton Jacobs was in a bunch of them and stuff like that. That's kind of what you're going to get here. A lot of action, a lot of nudity, a lot of extremely bad acting, and if I remember it, a lot of slow motion, right, Logan? A lot of slow motion in this one? This is the one, right? Logan's actually seen this, so a lot of slow motion sequences. I kind of remember that. See, nudity, bad acting, I'm there. Logan actually likes quality films. And of course, because everybody got it, Rad. I'm sure that if there was one was put aside for you to have, man, if you bought it with the limited edition during the sale, let them know right away. And I'm sure they'll get it to you. Because you got to have Rad. Might be connection. So I now have both 4K releases from Vinegar Syndrome. Thank you, Ryan, for the other one, by the way. He's not here today, but the action will be slow motion, not the new day. And of course, for those that came in late, the pins came in, so I hope you guys were able to get some of these pins. And I go back and forth, but I kind of think this might be my favorite. I just like the way that it's done. And uninvited, cats have 9 lives, you only have 1. So these will be going on my jean jacket when I go to Morocco. So I'm going to start my pin collection in earnest sometime soon. These are my first Vinegar Syndrome pins. I do have a couple from Severin, like Pixel does some great stuff. I'm definitely going to do that. Is it hot here? It is actually. It was extremely hot today. Did I get the Vinegar Syndrome subscription? I wish. To be honest with you, I would totally get the Vinegar Syndrome subscription without even blinking. But I don't have that kind of bones on me, man. I don't have the cash for the Vinegar Syndrome subscription. It's my most wanted thing out there right now. And one of these days, I'll have the money when it comes up at the time to do it. But every time the sale comes around, either I've got a lot of titles that I've got to get, or cash is low, so I end up not getting the subscription. So at this point, I go for everything that I can get, and the things that I miss out on, I go for during the sale. I try to get the slipcovers for everything that I really want. If I can't, then I bite the bullet. At the end of the day, it'll just be a slipcover. I want to get the film anyway. So if I had not, for instance, if I had not gotten Olivia with the slipcover, but I really did want that one with the slipcover, then I would definitely have bought Olivia anyway, because I like that film, and because I like Uli Lommel, I like Suzanne Love, and you gotta like the type of stuff though. What's my favorite item I received from the Vinegar Syndrome order? Is it rad? Actually, my favorite thing in the whole order, although I haven't watched them yet, so it may change. I'm gonna go with Blood Games. Hey there, Sasha. Blood Games has always been like kind of a favorite film of mine. I've watched it several times. Buck Flower's in it, George Buck Flower, and I'm a big fan of him. He's also in Berserker. I hope some of you guys there were able to get Berserker when it came back with the slipcover. Sasha, shipping costs. Well, what I'm going to do, Dave Katana, it's not going to cost me more because I'm going to order it and get it sent to my kids, and then when I go to visit them, I'll go pick it up then. For other releases like UK releases and stuff like that, then I'll just go over to London because it's only a 3-hour flight away for that. Oh, it is a great savings, man. If you got the money to do it at the time, and because when they did the 6-month thing, right? And because they showed kind of an overview. They didn't tell you what titles there were. They told you some titles, but they let you know that there's a bunch of stuff coming out. Like there's this many horror titles coming out. There's this many titles this month. There's a 3D title in is it November? In November's got 2 4K UHD titles and a 3D title, and I think like a slasher film. I know that October has like a Jose Larraz titles, which I'm actually super excited about. You're lucky that. But 3-hour flight is super cheap, so that's always a good thing. But yeah, I would have easily grabbed it. When am I moving? Well, Logan, I was supposed to be starting to move around now, and bringing things like in between August and September. Unfortunately, all this craziness happened over the last few months, and that really slowed things down because we're selling some land over there. And our uncle was helping us as well, and his business got kind of like it slows a lot of business and stuff down because you can't travel, and they're still like borders and stuff are still shut off. So it is what it is right now. I'm supposed to be traveling through out Newfoundland, which is my home province right now, and my better half supposed to be like talking to her mom about how we're getting stuff ready, and then I was supposed to come back after my vacation, and we were supposed to start things, and with him eventually going first, and then me going afterwards. But right now, we're not quite sure. So when I know, I promise you guys will know as well. So we will do that. Japanese language. I can't imagine learning Japanese. Like my kids, like my oldest knows Japanese, my youngest knows some Japanese, as well as Korean, and I'm like struggling to learn French, like literally struggling. But yeah, there's another. If you got the Forgotten Jally box set Volume One that came out, there is a second volume coming out this year, and I think that's in September. Uh, and then there is like, hey, welcome back, Chris. So there's a lot of big titles coming from. If you like horror, uh, yeah, there's a lot of Vinegar Syndrome horror coming out from straight on right now till November. There's going to be horror titles every month. So if you're a horror fan, then you're going to get some stuff. If you're an erotica fan, then there's going to be some sprinkling stuff all the way through. What do you think the two surprises are, geez, for the summer are going to be? I don't know actually. Are there any like clues? Am I excited for the? I am kind of excited for the Severance sale. I don't know if my better half's excited for the Severance sale. I'm not sure what I'll be able to get, um, but I'm super excited to see what's coming out. I did a video on it. I'll probably do another one right before the sale starts as well. I went in depth. If you never saw that video, guys, I went in depth with the Severance sale. I went through through my picks. I went through all the sale stuff. I mentioned like what the six releases that were coming out. I went through the different bundles as well. Really researched that video, so I'm super super proud of it. And then we did the whole works on Severin. It's going to be a big sale. My dad actually is very excited about the sale. He's actually contacted me a few times on on that one, asked me like what I'm going to get, like what am I picking up, how much am I getting, and I'm like, Dad, I don't know if I can get anything, but we'll we'll see. I actually picked up. I'm going to be broke for Severin. The Francos. That's what my dad wants. Dan, my dad wants the Francos. He wants to get like like there's a Franco bundle coming, and I think it's around like $51, something like that. 50, $51. And it's going to be the two Franco movies because there's one Franco movie, it's a mystery one, it's a secret title, right? And I actually do want that release. And I think like the nipple pasties as well. Well, doing live. Well, I did do a live one talking about the sale, but I will be doing a live one. I'd say probably when the sale, if I don't do it right when the sale is going, then I'll do one like directly after. Uh, so I think the sale's Thursday night, right at 12 a.m. So which literally is Friday, if I got that correct. Anybody can. Jess Franco, the director. But I do like Franco Neri. He's awesome. Severance site is down, and it will be down until the sale goes live. So it went down yesterday. So which it kills me because I don't know if I pre-ordered that Lamberto Lenzi Carol Baker box set. I don't know if that's been they started shipping those out yet or not. And I said, oh, I got to go check for that. And just as I remembered, I had to go check for it because I pre-ordered the box set. I remembered, damn it, the site's gone down. So 11, yeah, because it's Eastern Standard Time. So that's 11 Central, right? And over for me, I think it's like 1 a.m., which isn't too bad. Because I've had some where like they said like to go by Pacific time or something, that'll be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Was Carol Baker and something? I think she was actually. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but I think she was. Is that how many copies they got of Blood and Satan's Claw? I didn't know how many copies they had, but I know that there was a few. That's more than I thought they had. But I think you're right. It is a really sexy slipcover limited edition, so I think it will go pretty fast. There is like the edition that's out in the UK for people that are in the UK, but like for North America, that's our only edition of it. Jump on, type at 7 We can do that definitely. I was given the option to go on a live stream on your channel just in case you wanted to do it that way. But if you want to do it that way too, we can definitely do that. From what I know, Dave, it's like Thursday, like midnight, going into Friday morning. If anybody like knows anything like different, definitely let me know because, like I say, I'll get something. I'll get one thing, at least one thing wrong per video. So the packages are like super limited. It is so true. Some of them are limited to like 100. I think like the Jess Franco package, I think, has got like I'm not sure how many copies that one's got, but there's like 2 movies in there, and there's like the Lucio Fulci package, which is like 3 movies and 2 T-shirts, right? And might it be the sticker pack as well? But the big bundle, which has every one of them, plus plus the what's it called? I got it here too, the Amicus one, with the Werewolf Minute on it. It's what the hell, man? How can I forget that? I got it right behind me. No, I put it upstairs. That's gonna be on the that's gonna be in the big bundle as well. There's only 300 copies of that one, I think. Thinking of getting the Fulci package. So you want the 2 T-shirts too? I'm sure T-shirts are gonna be cool. I'm kind of. I got the. I got the big bundle for the L. Amson set. I'm just kind of peeved that the Satan Sadist T-shirt wasn't part of the L. Amson bundle, but I'm sure they're going to get lots of T-shirts out of that L. Amson bundle down the road. The packages are going to be super hard to get there early for the packages, the bundles. So you want to get those. Get there early for that. It's like this. Like when Vinegar Syndrome went live today, people were like at that website, trust me, like refreshing and refreshing. I was working. And I was like checking every once in a while. But I knew that there was nothing that I was going to be picking up unless like something came in that I really, really wanted. And there's one, and then I had like somebody kind of like text me and said, maybe we can do a trade. And I'm like, if I got anything, I was trying to think of something that I might have that he might be interested in because like I definitely would, because he has a title, Vinegar Syndrome title, that's probably to print right now or when it would print today, that I definitely want. So fingers crossed that works out because Deadline is the one. Conexploitation. I want to do a video on Conexploitation, and I'm getting all my Conexploitation stuff together. So I got like stuff like Sudden Fury. I don't want to get like Deadline. I got Kathy's Curse, and I want to do like a whole like series on that as well. I'm trying to innovate and keep things going when it comes to the channel. Well, to be fair, Sasha, a lot of the titles that I picked up weren't horror this time. See, Rad wasn't horror, but this was the most expensive title that I picked up. I'm such a baby for these interior covers. LA Wars was an action film. And Hell Riders was, a biker film. And even like the other ones that like are thrillers at best. The Beast is such a fun film. I like a lot of people don't like The Beast, but I really like it. Oh yeah, Liquid Sky's not got out of print or anything like that. If Liquid Sky's not there right now. Oh yeah, I have Night Riders actually. Tom Savini and Ed Harris actually in Night Riders. It's a good film. It goes on a little long, but it's a fun film. It's something different for Romero. You like the bees, Brian? Yes. See, there you go. It's such a cool little film. Now, the bees is one of those movies that it's one of those ecological horror films. It's done really well though, and it does. And it's got such a good cast. You got John Carradine in it, and you've got John Saxon in it. It's got both the big John guys in it. So me and my kids and my dad and my cousin and my better half all sat down one day. We had hot dogs and we watched the bees. We had a blast. It's a '70s film, and it was such a fun film. Like we totally enjoyed it. But you go into a movie called The Bees, and some people are like, well, that's kind of silly. Well, it's called The Bees, and it's about like killer bees and bees that are attacking people. It's going to be like that. Angry Asian killer hornets. Was that put out by Full Moon? Uh, I'm joking. I mean, okay. Uh, but it seems like doesn't it seem like something after the Corona Zombies one that they put out? Night Train to Terror with the slipcovers notice. That's got a sexy slipcover. I missed out on that. Stupid Max. Well, it's called Angry Asian Killer Hornets. Kind of what you expect for a movie with that title is at the very most bad special effects. Insect swarm films were big. Not just insect swarm films though. Like they had this whole during the '70s. There's this whole period of time of like nature attacks films, where you got the things like the bees and the swarm. There were like frogs was another one with Raymond Land in it, and there were the Food of the Gods came out. So many like big Bird Eye Gordon, exactly, did a bunch of stuff like that, and of course he did because Bird Eye Gordon's initials are BIG, and he did things with really big creatures in them. So that's I guess his initials were really important to him. And I'm like Brian. There's a topic, big topic since I'm Brian. I'm a big fan of like those ecological disaster, nature runs amok films, and they can be so much fun. But it's always like the case of like if you like these type of films, then I definitely can win you over to like The Bees and stuff like that. If you're not a fan of these films in the first place, I'm not sure if The Bees is going to win you over, but it should because John Saxon is just roguishly cool in this movie. Like the way he kind of like goes in there to seduce the girl. It's just everything about The Bees is silly fun, and I utterly adore it. Right down to its ending, which is insanely but great at the same time because they're trying to communicate with the bees. That's what John Carradine's character is doing. He's trying to he's a scientist because John Carradine's a scientist, right? So he's trying to communicate with the bees, and they find out what the bees want. So the bees want to have a message for us. So there you go. Check out The Bees. I do have it here. It is a Vinegar Syndrome release, and it is a really, really cool one with a decent slipcover. I did turn the slipcover over when I finally saw it. Something that I noticed a couple times when it came down to there's one guy I saw online today, and he was really upset that he got his Vinegar Syndrome stuff, I guess, yesterday or something. So he made a video, and he was super angry that he got it. Like I literally was excited that I got mine at the day that they opened up. It almost came in like, you saw the video too, did you? So he opened up Night Train to Terror, and he got really mad because it didn't have a reversible artwork on it. So, all right. So for people that have if you're watching this video and you never ordered from Vinegar Syndrome before, they have some limited edition films with slipcovers that are from their early releases. Movies like Night Train to Terror, Punk Vacation, or Demonoid was one of them. Those were early releases that came out. What they did was they just put out like a slipcover for those films that never had slipcovers. Christmas Eve was got a great, probably the best slipcover of all of them. And those, basically that's the same film. They just put them in white, in clear cases instead of blue, and they gave you a slipcover to go with it. So they're not going to go out. They've already went out and made a slipcover. They're not going to go out and put reversible artwork on the release as well. That's just kind of silly. But that was one of his complaints apparently. But from the way the video was done, and I don't want to knock anybody for making a video. Look, Lord knows, look at me, man. But he was super upset. But I'm gonna guess like that video was gonna get a ton of views. It's gonna get a ton of views. Pretty much, like he was upset about and you know what? And you know how I know it's gonna get a ton of views? Because one of my silliest videos, by the way, was me getting angry at Scream Factory because Nightbreed cost so much. Like it was called, and that video that I did was called "Shame on Your Scream Factory." One of the most viewed videos I've ever done, and I don't do like negative videos, so that's not my bag, man. But I got mad and I was like angry. Shocked me that anybody saw that video. Super shocked me that became one of my most viewed videos across the board. It shows up your feed. See, like for some reason that it got a lot of views, and because of that's kind of the ones when they want to show my channel. That's what they show. I've done a million Vinegar Syndrome videos over the last 5 years, but I think that's around the time I started because I started with like talking about Vinegar Syndrome. I started talking to this company back before it was cool, back before anybody knew what Vinegar Syndrome was. I think at the time there was like Celluloid Shot was like reviewing a lot of this stuff, Vinegar Syndrome stuff, and I was like buying it and talking about it. But we were like pretty. There's only 2 or 3 of us that actually like would talk Vinegar Syndrome. But now everybody is, which is cool for me because I get more videos to watch. I watch everything. I watch all the unboxings. I love those, and even like the ones, the chip tasting. I did. Do you remember? Were you back far enough, Brian, to know that I did beer reviews? I did like not very many, and I did comic book reviews. My favorite beer was Bellhaven's Best, and a very smooth like Scottish beer, which we don't get here in anymore, unfortunately. What's my favorite beer now? I don't know. Labatt's. Well, I'm Canadian, so I've drank Labatt's, but it's not my favorite beer. Though I'm more of a whiskey guy myself, but I do like the occasional beer every once in a while. I'm not a big drinker, although like the province I come from is known for having lots of big drinkers. I'm just not one of them. Do you remember my first YouTube video? I do remember what it is, actually. I got asked this a while back. Now I'm here. Hey there, James. But my very first YouTube video is, I think, was unboxing the Scream box set that came out. It was like a Canadian release, and it came with a mask, and it had all the Scream films plus the 2 documentaries. It was a Blu-ray set, and it was like I bought it. It was around October, I think, and I think that was my first like video that I did. It was only short, and when I first started doing videos for YouTube, there's no monetization or anything like that. There is like 75. That's an awesome number of views, man. I've never gotten that, not anything. And it's just like they all had to be under 15 minutes long. You couldn't have anything over 15 minutes. You had to get like your subscriber base. There's certain like when they're back then, there were certain like peaks that you had to hit in order to unlock certain things. So when you're doing videos for YouTube originally, they all had to be under 15 minutes long, and then when you got so many viewers, then you could go over 15 minutes. And in order to have like certain like little things on there, it was a different time. Logan, the good old days, it was a different time. Nowadays, for instance, it's harder to get money on YouTube. There's a reason you see like people even with bigger channels that have like patrons or cup of coffees, that type of thing. You see, or they'll do merchandise or they do something else. That's because it's a lot harder with monetization. And Man versus Film, you know this one. When it comes to actually decent money, Logan, you should know this too. Over 1 million views. Dude. I see. I've been here probably the longest, but not even close to it. But it's just I don't have the cool music that Logan has, and I'm not I don't know. I have longer videos. I'm a rambler. I'm a talker. Some people like that. It works in sometimes when I'm talking to Brian on podcasts, just to this, and I do find it's that it kind of works out here. But for some people, not so much. But I will say one thing I'm proud about with my channel is that I will try to continue to innovate. And doing that means I know that I'm going to limit myself money-wise and when I'm monetizing my videos. That's the truth. And Logan's right. Like 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes, it's a sweet spot for a lot of people when it comes to videos. But 10 to 12 minutes, a lot of times you do want like some like super tightly edited type of thing that's done. And I've had my editing days. I went to journalism school. Editing was one of the things that I did. I don't want to go back to doing it again. You're gonna notice that this is gonna come through with like a bunch of people on here that are that do YouTube. A lot of us have like some editing in our backgrounds. I know Dead Meat does, like on a more professional level, by the way. Michael Keane does his own type of thing. His own type of thing. I try not to make his type of video because that's him, and I'm not Michael Keane. We like the same type of movies, and he seems to be a nice guy. Like I've shouted at his channel because I really liked what he's doing, but it's kind of his thing. And we do have similar type of videos. It's just he does pre-tape stuff and I do live stuff. If you haven't checked him out, by the way, he does Vinegar Syndrome stuff, and he does have the subscription thing. I appreciate that, Sasha. So I hope that you like me. It's because such a good command. And and Michael Keane Michael Keane's a filmmaker first, by the way. So just so you know, he's made some movies there that you might want to check out as well. My better half once said, don't shout out somebody unless they've shouted you out first, type of thing. But half jokingly, she said it. But that's not me. If I see somebody and I think, oh, they're kind of cool, I'll mention them. It doesn't matter if they know I am or if they've seen me or anything like that. We all got our start somewhere, and I've seen like a lot of channels go super big, and I get super happy for that type of stuff. It's a Canadian side of me. That's what it is. It's a Canadian side of me. And that's the thing. And it helps. I mean, like we got like Logan. We started like a long time ago, and and it was like somebody showed us out. Somebody put us in videos back in the day. Remember I think you're in it. What movie scared you? Remember that video? Oh hell yeah! There's room for all of us because everyone does their own little thing, and I'm watching everyone else's videos too. There's the thing, Man versus Film videos. I see those. Did what movie showed you? Really? Thank you. But when the first ones you found. I had like, I've always tried to keep this, and if you're following, like, I'm a huge fan of the Gonzo style. And although I watch and enjoy some like the kind of the polished videos and the con videos and stuff like that, and I've even like did some of those, like not on here, but I made some of those originally, and I just didn't like it. I didn't felt that it brought who I wanted to be across. You need to make X number of recordings. Well, I've definitely made those. I've made over 2,000 videos, Dave. But my channel has gone almost completely live. I am going to be doing some pre-tape stuff down the road, though. And hopefully you guys will still be interested in that, because I haven't done it in a while, and I'm kind of nervous about it. But I will actually get some pre-tape stuff, whether it's going to be some reviews that I'm going to do. That's going to be like a neat little thing with it. But I should go, because I want to go before I bore you. I want to be that person that comes in, makes a bit of a splash, and then leaves before he can get annoying. I love getting my movies for free. I don't get one movie for free. Well, yeah, I do. I get sent some from some friends here on the cult, which I gotta say, thank you guys so much for that. Danuch, Ryan, like Mary, the JR, you guys, just thank you so much, by the way, because it's been a rough time, and thanks to you, I wouldn't have every one of these movies here, like if it wasn't two of these films. And I will say this right now, and I do need to say this before I go. See these two right here? These films I got because you guys here donated to a super chat thing. Mary did on her birthday, by the way, on her birthday. And because of that, I was able to go in and get these here, which I really wanted. What am I going to watch right away? I think Blood Games, actually, because I'm actually very interested in Blood Games. I've got to watch the next two of the. I got the first two watched in the Scorpio Films Dutch Sex Wave collection, and I have to watch the other two. The first two were really good, so I got a good feeling about the other two. The third one is supposedly like the biggest film in that era, and I'm finding a lot about that era film. So that's gonna be an interesting video to make, and I do try to make sure that we get that. Anyway, my name is Aaron. If you have not checked it out, please check out the episode of Just This, which I was just on with Brian. When you do that, make sure you subscribe to Just This, and when you're there, subscribe to his other podcast, which is Pure Cinema, which he does with Elric Kane, and it is amazing. There's been people on there from Eli Roth to Quentin Tarantino, and on Just This, he has people, even little guys like me. This is my movie library. You guys are the cult of cinema. If this is your first time coming in here, please come back. Hit the like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. Thank you to my patrons out there. Thank you to my cult. And I'll see you next time, because right now I need that tea.